Hi, this is Tim Elliott, and this is a short talk on empathy. So, I'm here to share a few words about empathy with you. In the Spill team, which is an agency I'm part of, we regularly have meetups we call Lead Your Learning sessions. And in one of those recent sessions, the topic of empathy came up. I'm sure you've heard the word empathy before and even know the dictionary definition of it. But I still want to share a little more about what it means in the world of human-centered design work and how we can use it strategically. And then hopefully you'll be able to take empathy into your own worlds. So let's start with the official business definition, which goes something like this. Empathy is the ability to detect and understand other people's feelings. And it's not to be confused with sympathy, which is showing concern for the well-being of another person. To sympathize that does not necessarily require that we truly understand the other person's experience in a deep and meaningful way. I mean, that's a good definition, right? It brings to the fore the keyword of understanding. But I think we can do better. I think we can go deeper in understanding empathy than that definition gives us. So let's start with the fact that there's three types of empathy. First up, we have effective empathy. This involves the ability to understand another person's emotions and respond appropriately. You often see this, or this often shows up as treating people as they treat you. It can also be referred to as compassionate empathy. And we have somatic empathy or physical empathy, which involves having a physical reaction in response to what someone else is experiencing. It's another way to show empathy. I'm sure we've all winced when we see somebody trip or fall on their teeth or cry at a movie or a wedding and so on. That's what somatic empathy is. It's a physical reaction. But finally, we have cognitive empathy. Now, this is the big one in my world. This is true perspective taking. It means that this is true understanding of a situation and the people within it. Right? It's the epitome of human-centeredness. It's about understanding what it's like for them and applying that learning for the greater good. Right? It's a broader version. Now I'm going to repeat that one because it's important. Cognitive empathy is the big one. It's true perspective taking, and it means that it's truly understanding what it's like for them, the person, the subject that you're trying to understand, and applying that learning for greater good. So I believe we can say empathy is when you intentionally choose to see the world through someone else's eyes. And we do this when we need to be strategic and effective. I go as far as to say that your strategic work needs empathy at its heart to be effective. You know what, though? I think we can go even deeper with our understanding of empathy. I think we can peel back just one more layer of the onion of empathy, right? Do you remember at the beginning I mentioned the Spill teams lead your learning sessions? When empathy came up in that discussion, I gave this very answer. So I believe empathy is willing to take input, being willing to receive knowledge or information. Then being okay with not knowing, not jumping to conclusions, not judging that information right or wrong, and believing the truth will show itself. Because as a human-centered designer, you will run it through your human-centered belief system, which has strategic empathy at its heart. So by now, I hope you understand empathy is not just what we use to see their perspective, but what we use to truly understand the spoken and the unspoken truths at the center of the challenge or the situation or whatever you're pointing your strategic empathy at. Now, I've used another weighty word there, truth. So it's probably a good idea that I take a moment to help you understand truth in this context. So there are two types of truth that we seek when we're using empathy strategically. There's two types of truth. The first one is objective truth. This is commonly referred to as fact or scientific fact. These are unarguably true and provable, but we complex, wonderful, weird humans can choose to believe them or not. The Flat Earth Society is a great example of this, and more relevantly and more recently, climate change, right, is a provable thing that it's our fault and it's happening, yet people still deny. The second one of those is subjective truth. Now, this is still true, but it's true because it's our lived experience or behavior. It's true for us. It happened to us. So there's objective and subjective truth. Both of these truths are super useful in getting a deep understanding we need through strategic empathy. Now, part of working with strategic empathy in human-centered design is having the ability to hold these two truths in your mind, even though they may exist in contrast, but knowing that this human-centered design way of thinking and doing your work will allow you to move forward strategically and intentionally. I'm going to end this short video soon, so I want to end with why I believe having empathy in the toolbox as a leader, as a human-centered designer is important. So empathy is the way we seek an understanding of the truth at the heart of the challenge, whatever that is that you are seeking to meet. That means empathy will make you help. Empathy will help you make better decisions. Nearly got that out. Nearly. That means empathy will help you make better decisions and better choices for the future good of your organization. Decisions based on truth. Empathy is inherently human, so will help you design solutions that truly meet the human need at the center of the thing, even though that need may not be spoken or communicated by the people you seeking to give the solution to or seeking to serve. So without empathy, we operate with constraints of not knowing, of not seeing, of making decisions on partial information. Now, I don't think you're the type of people who want to make strategic decisions without knowing all that you need to know, right? So I'm going to leave you now. I hope you enjoyed this short rant or waffle on empathy. Drop me a comment with any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.